All right, so this is the design discussion for MDN620. We have Christina and Ariana, myself, present, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. So, uh, first of all, the first topic is to discuss the key concepts that have had an impact on your understanding of the project completed in this class. I know for me, one of the things that really changed my perception was just like how logos need to be, as simple as possible. And, the animation of a logo can really make a huge difference in how it's presented and how, um, customers and the audience is really interpreting the message. So just looking at that in a different way was beneficial for me.
I love it. I feel like I feel like I say this all the time, but looking at a logo sometimes it just looks so simple and straight to the point. But going through this class has just again blown my mind on how much detail goes into everything
Mhm.
and how much thought is put into the brand and everything behind the brand, what the brand could be, and how you have to fit all of that into just one little compact baby.
Yeah, it's interesting. We live in the information age, so we're surrounded by all of this all the time, and it seems so effortless, I think. Because I've grown up with a Nike logo. We've grown up with the Kool-Aid logo or whatever it is. It really, I guess it's something I've taken for granted. That sounds kind of silly because it's just a logo, but the idea of how much goes into creating it and how much meaning it actually has in it. And as a English teacher, like I've even thought a little bit about this with my students, like as far as some of the illusions that certain brands have, like Dove. It actually Dove's a symbol for Aphrodite, and that's where it comes from. So I've thought of like those aspects of a logo, but I've never really thought about like how much effort it takes as far as the artwork to create something so simple. Um, and that's something that I have really, really learned. And I definitely look at things with a new appreciation and perspective these days.
Mhm.
And
Agree.
like, I think week one of this class, I sat and started going through the different concert and band logos, like the Kiss logo and Metallica, just going through all of those because I picked the music one, and even there's so much to it. So much to it that never crossed my mind. So,
Yes, I think this class has also taught me a bit more about having to just do research, a lot of research on what you're trying to do and what the actual message is that you're trying to get across. So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like moving forward, like even with my job now, just looking up since they work with a lot of games, just looking into more detail of the previous games that were worked on, or it's just a lot that goes into all of it. So I just feel like research, research, research.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think like you guys said, just like looking into past brands that have done similar styles or maybe something totally different. I think it really influences how we design. And once we see like what's working for somebody, then we can try and figure out what might work for our brand a little bit better.
Yeah.
So for number two, discuss the challenges encountered while completing your brand project in this course. So I know for me, I think the biggest challenge was trying to not be too literal. Um, because everything I was reading was saying, like don't go with like music notes, for a concert. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, so then, how do I symbolize music in a simple symbol, while also conveying that the logo is, you know, symbolic of a concert. So that was really a challenge for me to not even rely on musical notes. And when I was doing my sketches in week one, like I was just like, I can't think of any ideas. Like I was just running out of ideas. So some of them I just took a music note and tried to like make it into something else. And um, yeah, it just kind of it came together eventually, but I'm still not super um, I don't super love it with what I ended up with. So that was just the challenging thing is just coming up with an idea that wasn't too on the nose, but still, was a good logo for my campaign.
Yes, I think one of my challenges was like trying to not be too simple. So like, I wanted to, for the brand, I wanted it to be, for the brand itself, it's like the concept is removing all the extra. So I didn't want it to be too busy. And then one of the feedback points I had gotten from, I believe my vision board was that, it was initially too busy. It had too much going on in there. So I, went to the super simplistic mindset at the same time, but then I feel like that was maybe too simple too. So playing with like line weights and all that. And looking at other brands and seeing how theirs is just like maybe a word and just like a letter flipped into reverse or something like that was my biggest challenge. So I guess just trying not to just, I guess just trying to find that sweet spot, like not too busy and not too simple at the same time.
Yeah, I think I've definitely, I feel like for me, the pendulum has swung back and forth from being too complex, maybe feeling too simple, too complex. And now I feel like I've landed on something even more simple, but I think what I'm going to do works for me because, like I said, I'm going to change things again. But I wrote down a quote in my notes, and I think it's from week one or maybe week two. Um, I think it's from week one when we read Paul Rand, the guy who there's an article. He has like the principles of logo design.
Hmm.
Anyway, the quote that I wrote down is simplicity is not the goal. It's the byproduct of a good idea and modest expectations. I really liked that because, I think if we're just thinking, got to keep it simple, but then we lose the meaning. So I kind of that quote really spoke to me, I guess, because the idea is if you have a really good idea for a logo, it will be simple. And so rather than focusing on simplicity, I've been trying to focus on ideas and messages. I don't know.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense, Christina. Okay, so number three, um, to find a brand not discussed already and compare it to a design concept from this month's case studies. Um, the specific logo elements of the brands, concepts that we recognize in the brand successful, the use of concepts, and what are some specific messaging elements of the brand. Does anybody have a brand already that they want to talk about? I hadn't thought of one yet, actually.
I can start. One of the ones that I looked at was the Fenty Beauty brand. And that was one of the brands that I noticed that was super simple. And I believe like her font is let me go back. Her font was like really was it rounded? Where am I? There it is. Yeah, she had like a kind of, cool semi-rounded but simple font, but the only thing that she had that was like offset with just the letters of each word, Fenty Beauty or Fenty Skin, was the N is reversed. So not sure the meaning behind it, but it was just like her brand up from what I see is supposed to be is just like the super simple for dry skin, stressed skin type of deals. And, it was just really straightforward to the point with just that one little tweak in her font that is pretty much everywhere on all of her Fenty items.
Hmm.
So I kind of used that idea for the font that I used for Purist, um, without taking it too far and like just put that little leaf around it. 'Cause every time I think about, well, for me, when I think about something pure, I think about plants because I just love plants, period. But like that's where everything comes from for the most part, from the ground when you
Hmm.
think about it. So just, that little empty leaf around it type of deal, but just with that little simple font. So yeah, that was all.
Um, I was thinking about a couple musicians that might be familiar, or I'm sure they're familiar, but Guns N' Roses, and I was trying to think like, what is it? Because it just says Guns N' Roses. It's not, there's no rose wrapping up the letter. That's what I was trying to do at first. I was trying to like kind of have these images within, the brand name Mandy Madison. But Guns N' Roses, for the most part, it just says Guns N' Roses. But that N, instead of saying and, is just in with the apostrophe for the abbreviation. So I was trying to think like what makes it a little bit different rather than just writing out the words. But for some reason, that N is kind of memorable. And then Nine Inch Nails. You guys familiar with that logo? It's like an N, an I, and then a backwards N.
Hmm.
And it's just odd enough that it makes you remember. And it's just because the N is backwards. So I guess my point of what I'm trying to say is in a lot of the music logos that I've looked up, they for the most part just say the artist's name, but there's like one or maybe two twists on the way it's written or unique ideas, and that one little shift makes it unique enough that it's kind of memorable. And that's a really simple way to, I mean, I think it's a simple way to tweak things in a way to make it stick in someone's head. So I'm trying to kind of think like, how could I just make one little thing different so that it is memorable rather than just writing out the word. Or ABBA. ABBA is A, backwards B, regular B, A. And so again, it's just that one thing, the backwards B, that makes it different.
Yeah, I was really fascinated by that too. Music's a big part of my life. So when I was looking at band logos, obviously I'd seen them a million times, but to look at them with a designer's eye was different. I mean, just if you look at the Beatles, the way they always write their name with the long T and the
Mhm.
little the really close is iconic. Or like the Rolling Stones. I remember every time they would do a concert, they would have a different like like the lips with the tongue, but it would look different. So when I actually saw them in concert in like early 2000s, they had like spikes on the tongue. It was
Oh,
like that was like their concert tour logo for that concert tour. So, I tried to kind of envision, um,
I don't even think I've ever even noticed that. I'm gonna have to look it up.
yeah, yeah, and that's what kind of made me think about like when I was doing my project is like, okay, so I want the tour to have its own logo, its own concept, its
Mhm.
own brand, as if Mandy Madison is already an established artist, just like,
Yeah.
just like Taylor Swift, like just like when she did
Mhm.
her Eras tour and everything's kind of themed the same. That's what I kind of envisioned when I got started. Um, so I think that what really makes those brands like the music bands logos popular is that they are simple. Like you said, like there's just like one little detail that makes them different. And
Mhm.
that's all it takes because like if you like the music, then you're gonna know the band by its logo. So and even bands that aren't popular in every genre are still going to have iconic logos that almost anybody could recognize.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of deep meaning to some of these either. Like Kiss, it's just KISS, but it's written
Hmm.
in like a almost like a font that looks like metal, you know? Um, so I don't know that there's any deep meaning to that, except maybe the way the font looks. Um, the Beatles,
I
like why
think,
is that
yeah.
T long? Do you know? I don't know. I can't figure it out. Maybe there's a reason, but I can't figure it out.
Well, I think we'd have to ask the
Yeah,
designer.
we'd have to ask the
Um,
design.
but there is a page that I was looking at. It's like the stories behind rock band logos.
Okay.
That kind of tells you why it was like that and what they why they designed it that way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, but moving on, Christina, we can talk about it later if you want.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about band logos all night. Um, so for number four, we'll talk about the concepts for the class and go over everybody's work throughout the month. Do you want to share your screen, Ariana? Or who's going first? I forgot. I'm sorry.
I've just been looking up Kiss tour logos instead of pulling up my work, so I just need a second.
Okay, because I can
Uh,
always pull it up here probably
yeah.
if it's in the
Oh wait,
discussion. If
are you talking about mine or do you want to do yours first? Either way is fine. I'm, I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna get out of this screen. Um,
or I can go first. I couldn't
okay,
remember
yeah,
if you
would
or
you? And then
Ariana
I
were
could
gonna
pull
go
up all
first.
my
No,
windows.
it's
I'm
totally
sorry,
fine.
I was off task.
Oh, okay, so for my sketches, um, sorry. So this was my original vision board, and then um, for my sketches, didn't work. Sorry. Yeah, so these are my sketches. As you can see, like I tried to music notes in various ways, and then I got a little bit more creative, and then I did a little bit more research on like how we could maybe incorporate like some more feminine details in there. Um, so these are my sketches, and I also was having trouble with trying to decide, how to put either Mandy Madison at the forefront or between the notes at the forefront. So I hadn't quite decided yet at this point. Um, and then go to, I'll just go to, I guess. Okay, so then we did basically our own critiques, and I settled on these four. to carry forward. And then I did some refinements and I was doing really good making these straight, and then they just got kind of crazy. Because I couldn't keep them in line with each other. But I saw somebody like drew a grid, and it didn't even occur to me to do that, unfortunately. So they're a little disorganized. I still really like this design, even like this iteration of it. But it just seemed like this one was going to be um, the more usable one. I think is this one is what I came up with. And then as much as
I love the curvatures in your design. That's been really appealing.
in one particular or just in
Well, in
general.
several of them, like the third row on the one you're showing right here,
Hmm.
to me it looks like her body's curving around the guitar, kind of. I
Yeah.
don't know if
Mhm.
that's what you intended, but it's just
Yep.
it feels nice, nice on
Yeah.
the eye.
Thank you. That's actually so this was my second favorite. I don't know. I still kind of like this one a little bit more, but it just got a little too complicated when I tried to scale it down, and it just looked
Hmm.
like kind of nothing. So and then fitting the text on there became harder too.
Yeah,
So
it's hard to see what that is, what it says.
yeah,
And this
so
one, you're right, it's much easier.
mm,
Mhm. I like how the curves on your sketches almost kind of can like look like a treble clef.
That's what I was
mhm.
thinking too.
Yeah, that's what it was kind of starting as too. Like when I first, and that's what I was kind of going for, um, like with this one, the
Oh, I love those initial drawings. They're so pretty.
That is
thing.
awesome.
I felt like
Look at our.
it was really hard actually for me to draw them again.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like maybe I should have just traced it or something, but um, yeah. So then week three, we did. Oh, I narrowed it down to those two. We did our notes, and then these were the two that I decided on. And this one, it looks so pretty in vector, but um, it's just too much detail, right? But then when I simplified it, I just didn't like it. Like, so the more I simplified it, the less I liked it. And this one, um, same thing. Like I felt like the more I simplified it, the more I'm like, what is this even? So I actually went back and left it with more detail, closer to this one. I can show you in a minute, but and that's really see once I put it in black and white, I was like, oh yeah, this isn't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to put a stroke on it here just to even show the definition. And um, and then oh, we did the storyboard this week. So the storyboard, from what I read, it's better to make it more of a not like a too much of a wait, not this one, sorry, not too much animation. Um, so I made it really simple, basically. Basically, I'm gonna start with like kind of a smoky look, and then it's gonna just like a faint kind of line of her hair, and then it's gonna become, more defined, and then it's just gonna kind of like reveal itself, um, and then the sun's gonna come out like behind her head, and then we're gonna add the text. And I think I'm not sure. I might switch these to where Mandy Madison comes out first. I haven't quite decided, but I want the hair to like wave a little bit. Um, and then, and then, all the text will be there, and then it'll just hold. It'll just hold there. Is what I'm going for. And then this is kind of where I'm at with the logo. I I went back and I've added more detail to it now, and I'll probably take out a little more before I finish it. But I'm still nitpicking on it.
I really love the color on this iteration. I like the contrast of the yellow moon or whatever it is, the round part, and then the different purples and blues. It's a great contrast. And you have that little peak in her hair of the color from the back. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I was gonna put the text in magenta, the match, but then um yeah. So I imagine this is like a sun.
Have you thought about putting the text like to the right of the sun and above her hair?
Mm-hmm.
So it can
Like
be really
here,
big.
like
Yeah,
here. That's where I'm gonna put it. And
that your plan is.
um, like I was gonna put the text here, like I did originally, or
Hmm.
not all of it necessarily, but like at least one of them
Yeah.
there, and then one here. But I don't know. I'll have to see how it looks because I feel like the contrast wasn't very good on that. Um, actually, I think
I'm
I probably
wondering
should.
if you had it above her hair and to the right of the sun, if you could follow the same curvature of the hair. You know, like as if the text were on the hair, but just move it
Um,
up so that same
this one, sorry.
it'd have the same rhythm and flow.
Let me see. I had one where it's kind of like that too, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't save it. You
I
just
feel
mean
like
like
the movement you
here,
have
right?
on this one is really,
Hmm.
yes.
So I have the text here, and then like so this is
See, but I think the between the notes should be more prominent, so I'm feeling like that should be up top. But that's just what
like
I've
here,
gathered.
and then
Yeah,
put
the
Mandy
Mandy
here,
Madison in the
Mandy.
hair, yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, like I was gonna.
I like that, kind of how you have it now. I mean,
On me.
maybe the text a little bit bigger. Um,
For sure.
that's really pretty though. I like that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I probably not overlap with the sun, right? But just like here
Yeah, it's
is
hard
what
to
I was
know.
thinking.
It's hard to know with overlap. I'm not
Yeah,
sure about it yet.
you can play with that a bit. I like that the movement kind of gives like that
Hmm.
Phoenix feel too for Madison.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah,
I
I think
dig it.
I think that's kind of what I'm going for. And just with the text, I hadn't played around with it too much, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. Either one here, one there, or
Mm.
worst case one at the bottom. But I do think one should go here, and then it's just deciding on whether it should be here or in the hair. So I'll just have to work with the contrast
You
to
know what I
decide,
like
I
about
think.
the between the note right there? If you moved
Mm.
it down a little bit, it would almost be like she's singing and those words are coming out of
And
her
that's what I
mouth.
was kind of thinking is like I could
Yeah,
totally like move this.
yeah.
And it could almost be
Yeah.
like a whisper. I could
That
have
one
it
little
like
tweak. Yes.
come
That could be
in.
cool for the animation too.
Yeah, like I could have it like come out like
Type
it would
out.
be like reading it. Like,
Yeah,
you
like
know
a
what I mean?
breeze
Like
or
the
something.
B,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I think that's really pretty. I like that.
think I'm gonna go with that.
I think what's most noticeable about your design is the curve, the conlinear lines, if I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
Conlinear?
Cov curve linear, I think. I don't know.
Curvilinear.
I
I
could be
knew I
I
had
could be
something wrong.
wrong too.
The curvilinear line, it's very striking to me. So I feel like following that with the font is really strong.
I think you're right. I think this is gonna work
It's
like
really
that.
pretty. I love it.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I appreciate those suggestions. All right. Who is up? And stop sharing unless you need me to put it up for you on the board.
I think I can do. I could go
Okay,
next and just do the next Mandy Madison one.
sounds good.
Um, so, more. I used to use this every day, and now I forget how to screen share. Oh, share. Okay, I got it. Um, can you see anything or no?
Yes.
Okay. So you see the screen with my drawing?
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So this is week one. I actually probably have 15 pages of drawings. Um, and this week, yeah, it was real messy. I didn't think about doing a grid either. I just kept piling them on. Um, so my idea of this, you know, um the target audience is that they would be like preteens. I was thinking of my own children. And, they love their iPad and their video games and chatting with friends online. And so I was thinking for them, like a concert where you could blend, my kids also love music. So like a concert where those two worlds were blended together would be really cool. So like maybe there would be like a big QR code and like avatars dancing behind the musician and lots of neon lights and video game kind of things happening all over the screen. I I don't know if either of you ha are into Radiohead, or I've been to a couple Radiohead concerts, and like the main thing about that concert is the light show that happens while they perform. So I was kind of
Hmm.
thinking of something like that, only more appealing to children. So, and then for the consumer need, I chose novelty because it would be something new. It's different than being on your iPad or listening to music, and it would be different than just a regular concert because we've got the interactive digital elements. So at first I was really hung up on like trying to have an adventure theme or a video game theme. So I have like compasses and badges and pixels and later I realized that was all just way too much. But I'm gonna go to week two. Week two, wait, this is my pluses and minuses from week one. Oops, I need to go back down. Hold on a second. Sorry about this. Nope.
Good.
Down, down, down. Hopefully I'm not making you dizzy. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down to my next iterations. Okay, so this is supposed to be like a Google map marker. Still really hung up on that idea of an adventure. I end up letting go of it. Here again, going from one place to another with a map marker,
What was
trying.
that?
Is everything okay?
I didn't know I was not muted.
Oh, no, it's okay.
There's just a
I can
crash
pause. Do you want to
downstairs.
pause or is everything good?
No, we're good.
Okay. I totally understand. And then the next one, I've got lights on a stage with a QR code, way too complex. Thinking like electrical plug-in stuff. This next one is ultimately the way I end up going. Um, Trying to show like an equalizer. And then here's the idea of uploading something into the cloud because my tagline is level up. Um, so then this is supposed to be an equalizer and it did not come out very well. So I'm gonna totally revamp it. It just looks like a pyramid. But in the middle of all this was when I heard the professor talk about oh, it really needs to showcase level up. So then I thought, well, maybe I could symbolize it instead of writing it because I didn't want so many words. So then my equalizer turned into an upward arrow, and I tried to add a little arrow here, and it just, I feel like I really got thrown off with the trying to focus on level up. And rather than writing it, I tried to put in little symbols. And a week later, I feel like that just doesn't work at all for me. So I'm gonna go back to the drawing board, and here is my um hmm, I just keep pressing the wrong things. I'm sorry. Uh, anyway, in my new sketches, which I have not drawn on Illustrator yet, I am um I'm gonna go back to the idea of the equalizer, but I'm gonna redraw it and I'm just gonna chill out and decide to write level up real big. And I think I'll have the L's and the P larger, so they're kind of going up and down just like the equalizer. And then I have her name under it, and I'm just gonna like be really simple. And the lines for the equalizer, I'm gonna like alternate with colors. The I mean my brand colors. And then some idea for the animation is I'll start with some like el electrical light rays kind of on a black background, and then those light rays will kind of, you know, almost like I don't know, fade, appear
Hmm.
into more of the equalizer lines.
Hmm.
And then these arrows, really, I don't mean for it to go in a circle. I want it to kind of like shake a little, like it's settling in. And then this one level that'll be really big on the screen, and then it's going to go backwards and be really small. And then here it'll zoom in real big again. But I was thinking with the first one, maybe it'd be black and white, and then it'll go backwards. Maybe I'll put it in a grayscale. And then in the very last one, it'll be the right colors. I don't know. That's kind of my idea. Kind of like it's focusing in and out.
Hmm. No, I
Mm.
like that. I feel like the black and white is really in tune to like that equalizer feel. Like when you're looking at um the screens, it's either like black and white or like that black and lime green type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that.
I wonder if I shouldn't do color in the middle, black and white, color in the middle, and black and white. I'm not sure, but I think the idea is trying to decide and then it'll settle on one. But I know we're supposed to show both anyway, so
Hmm.
I didn't know what to do in between if I had black and white and then color at the end, what I do in the middle. So that's why I was thinking more of like gray tones. I'm not sure what to do with that.
Yeah, maybe since you want to finish off in the bright color, maybe like starting into like a grayish type of deal and then like little, I guess like what I guess I'm trying to picture I'm picturing like starting off in the either like the gray or the black and white area and then slowly adding on certain parts of color.
Yeah, like maybe in the middle, like some color could light up. Or like
Mm-hmm.
maybe some of the equalizer lines could have color and some could still be black and white. Something like that.
Yes, I
And then
like that.
in the end, I just want it to be like real big on the screen and really bright, like
Mm-hmm.
the colors of the.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think adding it into the equalizer part will help
I think so too.
build that up.
And I just was so resistant to add so many words. And 4 words is not a lot, but it bothered me. And so that's why I was trying to, complex and add symbols, but he told me not to just write level up. And
Mhm.
so um this week I decided to let go and just do just focus on the idea of the level up and have the equalizer lines. I don't know, that's where I've settled.
I like it. I like it.
I do too. One thing that uh, kind of I thought about when you were going through your plan is
Mm-hmm.
when you have the level up. come in, what if
Mm-hmm.
you could like if you have the lines maybe dropping down or like pulsating or however you're going to do it, but like
Hmm.
maybe have like the level up letters like kind of drop down or like come up, like just to give them
Like
like a yeah, like
so like opposite of what the equalizer line's doing, basically.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a great
just like
idea.
get like a yeah, just a contrast of motion there.
Yeah, I like that. Thanks for that
And you can
suggestion.
play with like like the direction of up, and kind of make it a
Hmm.
visual aspect.
Yeah, I
That
was
makes
thinking
sense.
all I the letters, I was thinking I could play with kind of like the equalizer lines, but I like that
Hmm.
idea of the contrast of movement.
Yeah, you could have them like put the level up in the lines. So like if the lines like maybe cover like the width
That could be
of the
interesting.
screen, then like have level up like over it, like on top of it, and maybe
Hmm.
like let the lines blur a little bit in the back.
Yeah, or maybe the level up part could like cut out and be in the middle,
Yes.
like kind of what we
Right.
went over in week three
Yeah.
with a shape cut. That could be fun.
Yep.
I
I
just
think
feel
that
like
would
now
look
I've
really
got a
cool.
whole new thing I had to play with.
You've
But
got
and
time. You can do it.
yeah, all the time. And then again, I just keep coming back when it's like too complicated, too simple. But I think ultimately I'm just going to settle on this simplistic idea, and I think it's probably going to be the best. And it does still convey, the digital feel of the brand. Um, I think because, the digital equalizer. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Nice.
Okay, I will stop screen sharing.
Okay, and I will get mine
Mm,
up and
stop
ready.
share. There we go.
Share. So I pulled up my, if I can make it bigger for myself. Yes, allow. All right, are y'all able to see?
Yep.
Okay, so I pulled up my journal. Um, so this
That is
was,
such a better idea of how to show it.
oh no, it's all
I
good.
totally forgot that too.
That would have been so smooth.
All good. So this was my vision board that I didn't realize until like maybe last week that I ended up copying and pasting like the same numbers in each bubble. But this was my initial sketches. It was kind of all over the place, and I kind of wanted to keep some of them together, do the backwards P to like feed off of that Fenty and other brands I had seen deal. And then I was kind of like thinking about the apothecary side of things. So I had like the kind of mortar pestle type of deal, the applicator sticks and the droppers. And then the leaves, again, the mortar and pestle, the simple, like kind of somewhat deal going on. It was like simple but chaotic at the same time to me. And then, so these were my markups. And I was marking out just like the stuff that didn't make sense to me after the fact, and even some of the stuff that I did mark that did not make sense, I probably ended up using anyway, I believe. So these were my final, or not my final, my six that I picked to go back through. So again, um, the mortar pestle apothecary type of deal that I kind of was thinking of at first, but I don't think it really fits. I don't think so. But this number six was like one of the main ones. Number one and number six were the main ones I decided to stick with.
I feel like you have, from the very beginning, you have a really good grasp on the simplicity piece.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's a compliment because it took me a very long time to understand that part. So I feel like you started off so strong with that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I feel like probably kind of sort of did too, but then I hit a wall when it came to the digital part of it, because I wasn't sure how to like get that across on here without it just not being straight lines. And honestly, y'all, I gotta check my language. I don't know what this was up here. So like I was trying to go for the leaf at the top too, but I feel like it almost came into like a raindrop type of thing. So that's why I was just like, I just need to refigure this out because it's just not coming out the way that
Yeah,
I.
I think that one got complex.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
at first I thought maybe you wrote it in a different language, but I just think it's hard when you try to digitize it and sketch
yeah,
it that way sometimes.
right. Like if I could have drawn, I'm way better at drawing than I am
Mhm.
with like this other type of stuff.
Me
Like
too.
I can draw my behind off, but
Uh-huh.
all of this was not working for me. So I just feel like I need to go back to the drawing board,
Mhm.
literally. And like this was the simplest thing. So this was me just trying to figure it out. So the leaf was intended to be like busy at first and then to just like die down to just like go for the removing impurities type of deal.
Oh, I like
But I couldn't figure out how to, you know, get that to make sense. And one thing that I put in my message to Dr. B was that I was not sure if this would work. Like I know this is what I did, but I don't know if this will actually work. So I was kind of like thinking of something like maybe the leaf opening up and closing or something like a compact, like a
mm,
makeup compact or something.
that would be hard to draw. I mean,
Exactly.
if I think that would be hard to draw on Illustrator, but my skills are not very strong.
Same.
Do you do you scan in your sketches and trace them on Illustrator?
I have not. That's a good idea though.
That's how I do it. That's how I mean, well, that's how they taught us to do it when I did graphic design.
Hmm.
Um yeah, I can't draw for anything on the computer without it. Like I because yeah, I think everybody can sketch probably better. Um
Yeah.
So maybe I would try that, you know, maybe even look at some of your original designs and
Hmm.
try to just trace them because you could just use the pen tool and just trace over your design exactly. And then I mean that's how I did all of mine. Um
So I got hung up, I think, on week three when all those the shape building stuff and I normally upload my stuff and trace it, but then I thought, oh, maybe I'm supposed to try it this other way. And I got kind of lost in it too, and I'm gonna go back to uploading and tracing it because I think it'll come out a lot better. But that really is a much better way to do it. And I don't know why I decided not to, but I agree wholeheartedly. Tracing is the way to go.
Yeah, I
I
remember doing that for a previous class or something. I don't know if it was in this program or my last one, but I remember doing that before, so I'm not sure why I didn't think to do that this time. So I'm so thankful y'all said that.
I think we were
you know
led differently with the shape building stuff. I don't know. It just put it in my mind to approach it in a different way.
Yeah.
so when I look at your designs, Ariana, I so what I'm thinking, what if you took the leaf and either use the R or the I to create the definition of the veins of the leaf, um,
Mm.
and make the leaf, you know, like behind it, but also incorporate it into the letters. I don't know that when I
I
look at
see
that,
that.
that's what I kind of envision is, you know, you had one sketch that caught my eye that made me kind of move forward with that thought. Um,
On the big page,
I
on the
think so. Oh gosh, where was it? Sorry.
yes.
Maybe it was when you did your first vector drawing. Could I see those go back up maybe to the no, it was a different one. Let me see. What if you go up more then?
Oh yeah, that I like the bottom one. It's kind of I'm wondering if in your animation, what if it transformed into a drop of water? From a leaf to a drop of water. Is
Mm,
that just going in a way different
that
direction?
sounds that sounds cool
I
too. I
like
mean, because you
that.
think of water as pure.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I mean. That kind of reminds me of a drop of water. I guess that's why I'm thinking that.
And that could, no, I like that. Like the pure life water too. Like it, like water represents, purifying. So I love that.
Yeah, if you could do, even the dot on the eye, like you could take that maybe and have it morph a little bit even into a drop of water or,
Yeah.
into a leaf. I think you could really kind of play with the actual letters a little bit. And you could do that without using topography. You can, just use the like sketch it out and then draw it in Illustrator, trace it from your sketch instead of trying to like maneuver actual type. You
Yes.
might be able to manipulate it a little bit better.
I love those ideas. Yes.
I like the color palette you chose on your look and feel board.
Thank you.
And I think that almost reminds me of water also.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, it's the idea of a spa, right? And
Right.
yeah, I think it could transition really well into that.
I've been writing as I listen to y'all, so thank you guys.
I like that. A calm, well-informed relationship with the skin. That's,
Hmm.
I love that line. My skin needs that.
Oh yes. Like I like makeup, but my issue like with even if I put on what I think is like the simplest, just whatever, I will break
Mhm.
out like crazy.
Oh no.
Mm,
And it's always in
I
this
know people
one
like
little,
that too.
yeah.
Do you have really sensitive skin? Where
I didn't think I
pores
did.
get clogged with the makeup?
Yes, yes. And it's only been since I had my son, so I don't know what he did to me.
Mm,
Pregnancy
that will
changes so
definitely
much.
change.
Yeah. I was talking to someone the other day about how much things changed after, like, and never, my hair's thinner. It's never, my youngest is 10 and it's never gone back.
Hmm.
Well, do we have anything else to say
Yeah.
regarding the design discussion? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
think
wasn't really checking to see how long we were going. Did anybody happen to notice the time when we started?
I believe we've gone for about an hour since we started recording, but I could be wrong.
All
I
right,
think so too.
let's
It was
go with
about
it.
8:30.
Okay. All right, sounds good then. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording.
Okay.